Day 3 of Modex is just started. Just had breakfast, no site visits this morning, and today we're off to see at least Slot 3D, have a chat to my mates at Next Use Software, talk about labor management systems, and I still have the entire whole C to do, so stay tuned, this will be an interesting day. Brain Corp, they do auto scrubbers, which basically means nothing more than just a cleaning machine that is basically an AGV. So these guys are VC backed. They basically have automated scrubbing machines. So at the moment they do Walmart and a few others. So watch the video. All right, so we're at Brain Corp, startup out of San Diego, California, and they basically do, as they call it themselves, not the glamorous style of automation in warehouse environments, but the sort of dirty style of automation, which means they actually automate scrubbers. They're VC backed, so about 112 people right now, and they basically, like I said, automate scrubbers. After hours, they got contracts with Walmart. They do a lot of the malls in Australia, in the US now as well. You know what? For us down under, where we have forklift operators at 25, 30 bucks an hour doing this thing can run at night. Why not? This was an interesting one. So most people talk about reducing cardboard after it's being used to reduce freight, but these guys actually do the reverse. They actually have a algorithm and a calculation tool that allows people to calculate the right size box to use up front, which of course you can still reduce afterwards, but it basically means you can reduce your original carton size to start with based on historical data and forecast volumes if you like, and they can do it as a one-off version or continuously update it throughout the year as a subscription model. Sorry mate, it's late.
Hi, I'm Trevor Eubanks. I work with Georgia Pacific, and we have a new consultative tool that is called CubeLogic, and the CubeLogic helps you right-size your boxes, the box set that you use for shipping orders all day. And what we do is we go in and on a customized solution give you the way to have the right box set for what you ship. So we look at your historical data and we help you right size those boxes, and it also helps you with your cost. It also helps you with your void fill and all of that other, and it helps you make sure that you're optimized going forward. And then we can also relook at that as your product mix changes.
And you do that for calculating the box size, but also to supply the boxes as well?
Yes. We can, here in America, we actually supply the boxes, but if someone just wants the answer, they can purchase the answer.
Kindred Robotics, end of sortation chute sortation system. So this is actually a robot within a standalone cell, and they actually connect this to the end of the chute. All your items actually drop into the bin, and the robot starts picking up individual items, scans the barcode, links it to the order itself, and then drops it into the actual packing side of the cell itself. So basically like an automated put wall system. They do a subscription-based model on pick by unit item cost. So it's 9 cents right now per unit picked, with no upfront costs, so potentially a great investment. So we're here at Kindred Robotics, and this is an automated end of chute solution with a robot. So the end of the chute basically drops into a big bowl. The robot basically picks up the units, scans for the barcode, and then drops in the right put wall slot. Basically built for fashion apparel right now. Actually looks for the barcode. It takes two, it drops them, picks up another one again, and this basically replaces the operator at the end of the chute having to sort through every single item into a put wall. The guys are actually looking now at a solution where at the end of the put wall itself, they can have a robot to pick up the end result straight out of the box to get it to packing stations, so someone doesn't actually have to pick it out of the slot again and repack it. Very interesting. So it's based on a pick by use model where they charge, I think it's 9 cents per pick right now for the US, which is actually quite cost effective considering they only, similar to what a warehouse operator gets charged at $30K a year. where we, of course, in Australia have 70k a year for a warehouse operator. So this could be something for some of the fashion apparel retailers. ProAction, these guys are change managers. So what they do is they help clients who are basically migrating from manual warehouses to automated ones, or even if they just do manual warehouses, to basically train the middle management how to deal with those changes, what they need to change, how to do leadership, how to deal with the team, supervisors, just to get the best use out of their new environments. They're not in Australia yet. They are basically looking at expanding into Asia Pacific, so watch these guys.
So ProAction, we're a consulting firm in performance improvement. We work with middle managers and operations to improve the efficiencies. Typically people will go after systems, processes to improve operations, but we make sure that you can maximize your assets by coaching your people, coaching your managers to be good leaders, engage your labor, see inefficiencies, address them instead of relying on continuous improvement opportunity teams or consultants. You can fix most of the problems with your people, and in order for us to track evolution and guarantee savings, we measure the behavior of people with KPIs, which are behavior indicators, and we can have a drastic impact on operations. During a typical project of 6 months, we get typically a 2-for-1 ROI, so significant savings, 10 to 15% improvement in warehousing, manufacturing, customer service. Wherever there's a manager managing people, there is a leader that can improve himself. So that's pretty much ProAction.
Thanks for that.
So, pleasure.
ProGlove, very interesting. So they have a tiny scanning device you can clip onto a glove or a wearable. So they basically replace the ring scanners that we see nowadays in Australia, the big bulky ones. They are not yet Bluetooth enabled. They're looking to get that implemented in Q3 of 2018. But they actually have an integrated one into gloves. So for people that actually use gloves during operation, this could be a good alternative. And they're actually really light and cheap.
Awesome. Hey, then I'm Chris with ProGlove, and what we do over here is hands-free scanning. What we have here is our scanning engine mark, which is clicked into one of our consumables, which could be an overwrap or one of the gloves. And simple as that, click it back in by triggering this button. I'm start scanning, and yeah, I'm scanning all 1 and 2D barcodes, and these has 3 major things. One, I improve quality by just getting also immediate feedback for the operator and not finding out 2 hours afterwards in quality control, or even worse at the customer. Step number 2, the operators like what they get, and it makes it really handy for them working on it. And thing number 3 is also from a management perspective, the ROI calculation, as soon as you do enough scanning, makes a whole lot of sense. And that's what we do over here. Chris with ProGlove.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Guys from Corian, these guys are interesting. So in the past, I worked for Swisslog, as a lot of people you actually know, and at some point Swisslog had what they called an indoor GPS system, which was nothing more than a grid line painted on the ceiling of a warehouse with receivers on the forklifts, and because of the grid, you could actually see where the forklift was if you had a starting position. Corian actually uses receivers or senders and receivers in the warehouse, so like a triangulation type environment. So the more transponders you've got, the more accurate it'll become, down to 10 centimeters accuracy. What it allows you to do is actually track your material handling equipment, but also allows you to make exclusion zones. So, for instance, you can basically link it to your dock door controls. So if the door's open and there's no truck, actually the exclusion zone will be activated and the forklift actually can't drive out of a warehouse, out of a dock leveler. The same applies to high pedestrian areas. You can actually set those up and force the forklift to reduce speed to crawling speed if you want, or even make them stop. So, very interesting.
Okay, so we do indoor GPS, high speed, high precision, plus or minus 6 inches, anything you can imagine that you want to track. What we track typically are forklifts and people, sometimes things. One of our customers had an application that we were already tracking their fork trucks for productivity and efficiency reasons, but they had incidents around their loading docks. Accidents related to dock separation or the truck pulling away and the fork truck still exiting that door. So we actually added a module to our system to sense the loading dock status and put it on our network wirelessly, and then actually a module for our fork truck that interface to the speed control and the e-stop or the emergency stop of the fork truck. And in the video you can see, and I can show you a link to that video on YouTube, we actually can build geo boundaries, or basically zones that are virtual but are real world related. Slow down zones, warning zones, shutdown zones, stop zones, and those zones can actually be emailed if somebody violates those zones, emailed or text to a manager, or they can lock out the machine or just pause it long enough for the person to realize they were in error, and then they can go the other way. We actually have orientation and heading, so those zones can actually be heading or related as well, to where you can drive through them going certain headings but not others. This all came about mostly from our experience in tracking things indoors fast and accurately. And customers come to us, we're integrators by heart. That's what we like to do, figure out problems, and that's what we're here for. Our name's Corion Technology. Thank you.
The Raptor. I didn't actually talk to the sales guys, only to the engineer, because it's running in a demo mode. So I've seen quite a number of automated label application solutions in my life, but this was one of the fastest ones I've seen so far. I mean, this thing was flying, and literally at all different heights. So no preset height, all inline motion, and it was flying. So I'll get in touch with the guys again as well to see what information we can get and if we can get them in Australia. But that would be great for sortation providers or high-speed picking systems with inline labeling requirements. I'll get you some more information on this one.
So it's doing this and now as a demo, making sure that it does multiple.
Last but not least, Rad Bikes. As the name says, Rad Bikes, radical bikes. So they developed an electric bike for city distribution, or even within a warehouse environment if you need to transport items from A to B, or bulky items, or if you've got internal transport. If you have a bike, electrical, runs up to 70 to 80 miles, so that's 130 or 40 kilometers on a single charge. Actually has a built-in charger as well, so you're never out of, well, you're out of juice, but you can at least charge it wherever you are. They come with a fixed bin, they come with a flatbed, they come with an insulated bin as well, so you can use them for food transportation. They have a 240 volt version as well, which they're actually getting into Europe at the moment for city distribution, last mile. And because it's electric, it's great for, well, say, take Sydney as an example, for the hills. So you can park it for free in the city as well, so it might be great for just last mile delivery. Keep an eye on these guys.
I'm Brian Rinkenberger with Rad Power Bikes. We're here today in Modex showing off our Radboro cargo trike. 750 watts of power with a total cargo capacity of 700 pounds. It goes 40 to 80 miles on a single charge and charges in 2.5 hours. It's available with a cargo box for logistics use, as well as a truck bed for in DC and facilities use, and a flatbed if you're moving odd shaped cargo. It's got tie down so you can lash down whatever you're moving, either if you use the flatbed or the truck bed. And there's a locking handle on the back of the box, so if you're using it for logistics and parcel deliveries, you can lock it when you're away from the vehicle.
Plus there's one as a chilled version for
Yep, it's available both with thin walls to maximize cargo capacity, as well as thicker insulated walls if you're using it to move perishables.
Great, thanks man.
All right, thank you.
End of day 3, good day. Finished off with a site visit, again by Knapp, to one of their local pharmaceutical wholesale warehouses. So thanks again, Michael Kemeny, for organising that and for taking along some of the Australian people here as well, and New Zealand people. Very interesting. Great day. I finally got to finish Hall C, which turned out to be a really good trip. Quite a number of things that I didn't see in Hall B, one of which is like a AGV scrubber for warehouses. Including a number of robotics companies again, and one that's interesting, they actually do a scanning device integrated into a glove, rechargeable of course, and they're looking to get into a Bluetooth version in Q3, which would mean that we can start using those for use as just ring scanners, Bluetooth connected to RF devices. So Good day today. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Last day of Modex, and just probably it's only finished at 3, so we'll see how we go tomorrow. Thanks.